And we find this as a great opportunity for ourselves personally to recommit ourselves to our relationship to South and Central America as well as in the Caribbean islands.
Y lo vemos como una gran oportunidad para demostrar nuestro cometido
Part of what we're doing is trying to tailor the mission, and especially the surgical part of the mission, to cases that don't require a lot of follow-up for exactly the reasons that you're alluding to, because once we leave, we're not there for that kind of follow-up. Most of the surgeries we're doing don't require a lot of follow-up care, and that was certainly a major factor in our planning. That's why we're not going to be doing major bowel cases, for instance, because those require a lot of follow-up, and we would be doing a disservice to the people to be doing something of that sort. But to dovetailing with that, there will be some patients that we will find that need follow-up, and it may not necessarily be surgical patients. It may be somebody that we identify at one of the MedCap sites, for instance. We find something that, this patient really needs some further medical care. We're only here for a very finite period of time. What do we do? That's where the importance of partnering with the host nation physicians come in. If I have a patient that I think needs some further follow-up care that we're not going to be able to do, I'm going to go grab one of the host nation physicians, get him involved in the case, and liaison a partner with him, so that him or her, so that they can get that long-term care. And that's the critical piece of partnering with the host nation medical care, so that in those instances where there is going to be follow-up care, and we know there will be some that will need care beyond the time that we can be there to deliver it, that we'll partner with the host nation physicians to try and get that fostered.
That is incredible.
We are right now at Puerto Cabeza in Nicaragua.
What's going on at the site? I see hundreds of people lined up to get in.
Sure. So we are at a school here in Nicaragua where we're providing medical and dental services along with host nation providers to the local population.
So when basically they come up to the gate here and they say what their complaint is, and then
That's right.
they get fed to one of several stations, right?
That's right. People come up to the gate, they get intaked. All the kids get dewormed at our deworming station, and then they are offered one of 3 sites, optometry, where they will get fitted for glasses. They will also get evaluated for cataracts, and if they are deemed to be a surgical candidate, they're offered cataract surgery in a future date, which will be done on the ship. So we're doing screening, at least for the first 3 days here, for cataract surgery and other eye surgeries. We do have an ophthalmologist here and 2 optometrists here. We have 3 dentists and various number of dental techs that will be providing cleaning, tooth extraction, fluoride treatment, sort of your standard dental services. And then finally we have a medical department here, which is by far our largest, where we have a dozen or so active duty U.S., Canadian, Dutch, and Nicaraguan providers providing routine medical care to, or basic medical care to the local population.
So they, but if someone has multiple complaints, do we have to prioritize?
Yeah, certainly we do. You know, we look at the line. We have nurses manning the front gate, and if there's someone who looks significantly ill, they certainly get front of the line privileges. Most of the people here, they look okay, and they're coming in with chronic complaints. Things like headaches, rashes, chronic infections, and the patients themselves prioritize what they feel is they want. However, we're not limiting them to one service. We're limiting them to one service at one time.
Okay.
If they want to come back for optometry, they just have to get back at the end of the line.
Oh, I'm sorry. So how many days will the site be here?
We'll be here at this site for 12 days, and then we're going to have some satellite site also running 4 days each at some of the more rural clinics. This is by far going to be our main and largest site.
Okay. It's pretty austere. Are there any problems with getting power to some of the equipment? And
No, it may look a little austere by Western standards, but having done this before, this is actually quite luxurious. Usually we're underneath the canopy underneath heat. Here we have some canopy, we have electricity, we have water, so this is good.
Like, I know she can't read, but I mean, even if it seems clear.
Well, I think essentially what happens here, and again, especially in an area like this, and especially in some of the things we've been doing, you know, as a Navy lately, you know, when it starts with the tsunami relief, you know, it aligns with our own the tsunami aligns with Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. All this aligns in that we, you know, when disasters strike, you know, a platform like this becomes very crucial. I mean, we can produce water, we can provide food, we can get support out to people, and so this is something that, you know, we have to train. We're pretty proficient at it. However, you know, the time to establish these lines of communication, the time to figure out, you know, how we're going to work with our partner nations when disasters strike. It's probably better to do it now, you know, while we have the freedom of movement. We're not restricted by the tsunami or the hurricane or the disaster itself. And so we're establishing those lines of communication. We're establishing how we want to operate. So in the event a disaster does strike, we've trained to that.